All right, you know what to do. Please welcome Breckin Meyer. Welcome. It's so good to have you. The microphone. Yeah, it's all yours.
Hi. 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 I've been acting for like 30 years, but I still really like to hear my voice loud because I immediately want to curse. But I won't, because are there kids here? No?
No.
Fuck. Sorry. Hi.
Greetings.
How's everybody? Hi, guys. I've never been here before. This is really fun. So thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
How goes? You have
really.
Wait, is it Van Gogh?
Yeah.
On your head?
Let's get to
I want to see it.
All right, there you go.
Let me see it.
There's
All
the 360.
right.
Now let's get to the.
You did it. I want to see it.
Let's get to the important part.
Okay, what's that?
I usually put together montages, things, bumpers before each panel. I saw this trailer for your new film.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
No.
No. Damn it. Because, it really looks like
It's a really interesting movie. It's a little dark, I will say. It's kind of polarizing. But Emily Kinney, who's here somewhere from Walking Dead, she's still alive, and she's here. She was in it with me. And it's basically about this guy who has, I don't know if anyone's heard of this affliction called anhedonia, which is, oddly enough, by the way, a little movie of trivia. It's the original title. That was the working title for Annie Hall, was anhedonia, oddly enough. It's exciting, I know. But it is a affliction where you feel you don't get any pleasure. You feel nothing, basically. You don't, whether it's money, sex, job, anything doesn't give you pleasure. You're incapable of feeling it. And it's a sad cat, this Casey guy, but he meets this girl and they go on a kind of a road trip, which is another movie. And they have a little relationship thing there. But again, he's suffering from this ailment, and it's very interesting. So if you get a chance, it's streaming places and stuff. Check it out.
I think it's on Apple TV.
It might be on Apple TV.
Yeah. So make sure and check it out, because a trailer rarely grips me like that.
It's interesting. Yeah. So check it out, or don't. You can also not.
Do you want to grab some questions?
Yeah. Anybody tell? Hey.
All right.
Right there.
Hand went right up. He's got a burning question for you.
Yes.
Yeah. And by the way, thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me. There's like a doily on this.
That is obviously we put protection devices on our microphones.
Anything from this microphone.
Correct. That is how this works.
As much as you want to infect me, microphone. Sorry. Hi.
All right. Here's a question for you.
Go ahead.
All right. Hello, Breckin. Great to have you with us. Travis Birkenstock, one of the best characters.
Thanks, man.
All right. So the one big question I've always wanted to ask you is, what was your fondest memory of working with the cast and crew on Clueless? Your favorite moment, and what can you describe as your fondest memory of working with Brittany Murphy?
Oh, okay. I'll take the second one first because it's in my brain now. Brittany. God, that sounds weird. Sorry, Brittany. I love Brittany. Brittany's the best. I say it present tense. I know she's not here with us anymore, but I still say it present tense. Brittany and I worked together forever before we did Clueless. Like we played boyfriend and girlfriend in like 3 different projects. And then we did Clueless together, and they said, oh, the girl who got the role of Ty is Brittany Murphy. And I was like, oh, well, done. I don't have to do any acting. I love Brittany. That's fantastic. But Brittany was also always like a little sister to me. Even though we were playing boyfriend girlfriend, she was a little sister to me. And you can see in the movie at the end in the wedding scene when I kiss Brittany, I kiss her on the top of the head. I'm not supposed to. It's supposed to be a kiss between Travis and Ty, but Brittany's like a little sister to me, and so I literally couldn't kiss her as like a romantic thing. So I kiss her on the top of the head. And then we went on to do. Brittany was doing King of the Hill, playing Luann and playing Joseph Gribble on King of the Hill. Then Joseph goes through puberty, and I step in, and I took over for Joseph, but she kept doing Luann. So Brittany and I still worked together for another 8 years after Clueless, and she's just incredible. And she was. It's such a bummer that she's not here because she was so, pardon me, fucking talented. She was one of those triple threats. She could do everything. So it's a bummer because you wonder what would she be doing now. Whether it would be Star is Born. Who knows? But every time I see a role like that, when I saw Star is Born, I thought Brittany could have been in that role. By the way, Lady Gaga's fantastic and quite a singer, but Brittany's just incredible. And then doing the movie, doing Clueless, my favorite bits about it, working with Donald and Rudd, Faison and Rudd, we just giggled. The last scene in the wedding where you see us laughing at the table has nothing to do with the movie. We are just laughing because Donald says, I'm bugging, and Rudd just broke out and said, well, I'm bugging myself. And it was the whitest delivery I've ever heard in my entire life of the word bugging. And we couldn't stop laughing. So they actually kept that clip in the movie of us laughing. It's just us laughing at Rudd. I got sent to the hospital because I was a skater. I even skateboarded to my audition for Clueless. And I was a skater. I didn't do aerials a lot, though. And then during rehearsal, during a lunch break, I was like, I got to get a little better on the half pipe, which was a stupid thing to do. And I immediately fell when I dropped in, and my ankle went like a bunch of celery breaking, and crawled under the half pipe. And the security guard, so funny, like as a little kid, you know, whenever you hurt yourself as a little kid, you're like, and you get right up. You're like, I'm okay, I'm fine. And, you know, because you're just embarrassed. There was the first time ever in my life where I went down and someone said, are you okay? And I've said yes my entire life. And they were like, you okay? And I was like, no, I'm not okay. I can't stand up. I'm not okay. And it was a security guard. Everyone else was on lunch. And the weirdest thing was he brought over, I never forget, I still don't know why. He handed me a Ziploc plastic bag that was wet inside. And he was like, here. And I took it and I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. My ankle hurts. This does nothing. I mean, I guess I could breathe in it, but I'll die very quickly. So we went to the hospital, and the producer put his cell phone, it was back when cell phones were like big. He put it on my chest and he's like, call me when you get to the hospital. And so there's a scene in the movie after the skateboarding thing where my ankle is like this because it's huge and in a cast. So not that was my favorite part of Clueless, but it was a little tidbit of Clueless for you. It was that.
Okay.
That was it. I hope I answered your question, by the way.
Right down here, we have a question.
I tend to ramble.
It's okay. We're good.
I didn't get a lot of sleep, guys, so it's okay.
Hi, Breckin. I got two for you.
Okay.
What was it like with that cast from Road Trip? Probably one of the best comedic casts ever.
Oh, thank you.
In my opinion, one of them. And what was your favorite character you've done on Robot Chicken?
Oh, man. My favorite, the guys on Road Trip, we had such a great time. Todd Phillips, who directed that, and then went on to do smaller movies like Old School, The Hangover, Joker. He produced American Sniper, War Dogs, everything. Todd's a genius, obviously. But doing Road Trip was just, it was so much fun. I didn't, I'll give you a little tidbit just because you guys are here. And just keep it between us, okay? No one will tell anyone. So for Road Trip, I wasn't casting it. It was another guy. They had another guy for the role who's actually a really good friend of mine. And he had kind of booked it. They thought he had the role. And the night before, I guess, the offer went to that actor, Todd was watching Go. And he was like, I do like that guy from Go, a character where I was like a white kid who thought he was black. And it was me and Taye Diggs battling that movie in a fun way. But so I got the movie at the last minute, which was kind of cool because you don't have any time to think, really. So you just show up and start working. And then I think I've told this before, but the role of Jacob, the bad guy, the guy Anthony Rapp played him, who Amy loves, or he's in love with Beth, Amy Smart's character. Originally, that was played by Crispin Glover, who played George McFly. And Crispin was just so wacky that Todd had no choice but to get rid of him and replace him with Anthony Rapp. But Crispin's role, I actually have the photo of it on my phone. If y'all want to line up, we can take a look. But I think because I stole his one wardrobe photo. Because Crispin came in, he wanted to basically make the character David Koresh. So he came in with a wig of David Koresh, the glasses of David Koresh, and everything. And also the demeanor of David Koresh. And that was it. And so everyone's like, that's a very good choice. It's a little dark for this movie because he'd recently been killed in a fire in Waco and all this stuff. So he got replaced by Anthony Rapp, who did a fantastic job and was great, and it was perfect. But yeah, so I had a really fun time with that. Robot Chicken, Sethy and I have been doing Robot for so long. Honestly, the reason we do so many voices is because we don't have money to pay people. So we end up having to do it ourselves. I think my favorite is Boba. My favorite is doing Boba Fett. It's like on Robot, I get to do parts I would never get to do on screen. I'm probably not going to play Superman, so I get to do Superman on Robot. Might not be Boba. Definitely not going to be Jesus or Lindsay Lohan. So those are my four favorites are Lindsay doing Lohan, because also it's credited on IMDb as Michelle Trachtenberg does the voice, not me. But I do the voice. But if Lindsay ever goes crazy and decides to kill the person who does the voice, she'll kill Michelle Trachtenberg, which will be fine. So Boba, Jesus, Superman, and Lohan. You know, the 4 horsemen. Yeah, those are probably my favorite.
All right, we got a question for you over here to the right.
Are you dressed as Bacon? Fantastic. Just checking.
All the way over here to the wall on your right, we got a question back here.
Hi.
Hi, Breckin. Thank you so much for coming.
What are you? Is it a costume or is it?
It is a costume.
Okay.
I'm Harley from Birds of Prey.
You are Harley Quinn. Okay, I just saw. What did I see? Suicide Squad, the sequel. Did anyone see the Suicide Squad sequel? Super crazy fun, right? Super fun.
So I have a bit of a weird nerdy question for you.
Perfect.
So whenever you were filming Garfield, how hard was it to do all the CGI scenes? Because Garfield wasn't there. So
No, he
I
was.
just was curious for you, as an actor, how
What are you
hard
talking about?
that
He's
was.
real. He's a real cat. 2 things. One, it's a really good thing that he was CGI because I'm allergic to cats. So, also I'm a dog guy. But anyway, that's okay. I don't want to offend anybody who's a cat person. You can be cat people. The thing is about doing Garfield. Really, everyone here. Well, some of you are younger than me, but you know how we always play cops and robbers. You play cowboys and Indians. You play war in the ivy, and you run around with your guns. That's really what my job is, which is why I enjoy it so much. So with Garfield, it's I've talked to my stuffed animals my entire life. Probably not as much now as I used to, hopefully. But we all used to do that. I mean, that's what we do. We play pretend. So whether this is a lightsaber and you go, or it's a laser, whatever it is, that was what doing Garfield was. The only difference was I was holding a sack of beans instead of an actual cat. But it was really, I mean, it's really what the job is, which is make believe and have fun. The only thing that gets tough as an actor is honestly the eye line thing. It's there are certain clips of movies you'll see where the eyes don't seem like they're looking through the thing or not quite where it is. That's more the animators and up to them, and hopefully the actor gives them enough. But it was fun. I mean, it's fun for me to. Also, one of the reasons I did the movie, honestly, my mom is a giant Garfield fan. So every Christmas we would buy her the Garfield books, and that was we didn't have any money, so that was what you'd buy her. You'd put in a stocking a $6 Garfield book for my mom, and when the movie came about, I was like, oh, she'll love this. So it's pretty great. It's funny, my mom's a microbiologist. She's super smart, and I'm a trained monkey. So she's disappointed. But on my mantle at my mom's house, there's a photo of my brother when he graduated college, because he graduated college. I did not. There's a photo, though, of me in a cap and gown from a movie. And she has cut out the camera in the photo. So there's just a photo of me with my fake diploma and everything else. So yeah, so she's quite disappointed. But that's why I did the movie.
Okay, got a question for you right here.
Yes, sir.
How much did they let you improv when you were Josie and the Pussycats?
De jour. Josie was written and directed, or co-written and directed by my ex-wife, who's also very close to me. She's my kid's mom and all that. But Deb and Harry, oddly enough, their name is Deborah Harry, and their company's not called Blondie, which to this day drives me crazy. Their name is Deborah and Harry, and they don't use the word Blondie. Anyway, Josie was, she put me and Sethy together, so she let me play with Seth. My other best friend, Alex, who played the tall Les was his name, I guess, the blonde guy. And then Faison, obviously. Who asked the question? I'm sorry, I'm looking in vague area. There you go, hi. So that is one of my favorite gigs I've ever done, because they just let us riff. At Alan Cumming, who's one of the best actors on the planet, me and Seth and Donald and Alex being idiots. But I also was a giant NSYNC fan, way past when I should have been. I was a huge NSYNC fan. I watched the HBO Madison Square Garden NSYNC concert way too much, to the point where I had children and I was watching it. I really dug it. So the minute they said, oh, you're going to play this character Marco, he was originally written as a cool, sexy Latin guy, which is not me. And I was like, nope, we're going to do Timberlake. We're going to do a silly high voice and all that. And they just let us riff like crazy. So really, I got to be in a boy band for 10 minutes, which was pretty great, because they had screaming fans. They were paid to be there and scream, but I didn't think that. I just thought they were there for us. So, yeah, Josie was super fun, but we got to improv a lot of silly stuff. So it was very fun.
Got another question for you right over here.
Yes,
You're
indeed.
next.
First of all, very nice to meet you.
You as well. What's your name?
My name is Jean.
Hi, Gene Breckin. Nice to meet you. You talk.
I wanted to ask you about Ghosts of Girlfriends Past.
Sure.
It's one of my favorites.
Okay.
Did you enjoy doing that? And
I did.
Any good stories?
Yeah. You know what's funny is oddly enough, I haven't seen that movie, which is one of the few movies I've done. I haven't seen it yet, all the way through. I know the ending. I know how it ends, so I won't spoil it. But yes, that was really fun. I was when Matthew McConaughey blew up. What's it called? What's his movie? Time to Kill. That was the first one, right? Anyone know? Yeah. Okay. Time to Kill. When he did that Grisham movie, I remember thinking, because I grew up a little bit in Texas, in Houston. I remember seeing that going, I want to play that guy's brother someday. That'd be cool. I don't look enough like him, but I look enough that I could play his brother maybe. Like the lesser mongoloid version of McConaughey. I could do that. And so that was really fun. That was super fun to do. When I met him, Matthew McConaughey does the best Matthew McConaughey impression in the world. Nobody can do a better one than him. And so I have a thing, and a lot of actors have this, which is if you meet someone with an accent, you pick it up. So if I meet someone who comes up and says, oh, hey, huge fan of Garfield. I love it so much. It's my favorite movie. We watched Over the Pond, blah, blah, blah. I will sit there and I will go, oh, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. That's fantastic. Cheers. Thanks. And it just happens. It just happens with a bunch. Seth Green and I always mess with each other because the accents just keep coming and stuff. So we were in this movie, and so I go to the audition and I meet McConaughey. And I know who he is. He's Matthew McConaughey, and he's fit and all that, and he's cool and all that. And he also has this... got this very kind of pronounced stance. He does. There's Matthew, and he kind of comes in, and he's got his thing. How you doing? And he's all right. How you doing? And he meets, and he's got this great kind of swagger that I don't own. And he kind of just pops in. And the one thing about Matthew is he doesn't point. He points with all three. So most people go like this. Matthew goes like that because I'm selecting all of y'all. And so we meet, and he says, and he's got that accent. And I wasn't going to do an accent for the movie. I was just going to meet him, whatever. And he comes in, he's like, how you doing? Where are you from? And I immediately was like, well, I grew up in Houston. And so we start talking. And all I keep thinking is, I'm trying to get a job. He's going to think I'm fucking mocking him. Like, he's going to think I'm doing his accent. And so every time he does a line, he's like, so we're going to start it here. I'm like, that's where we should start then. And so we keep doing it. But the best part is, Matthew also has a healthy ego, so nothing he likes more than another him. So he was like, all right, I can see that guy being my brother. And so we did it. So he was super fun, and it was great. There's a scene I know, I played myself at 72 at one point in the movie, and so I was in all this makeup, and I had never done that much prosthetic work. I did Freddy's Dead with Robert and stuff, but he was in the makeup, not me. And so they age you to 72, so it's caked on. It's great. It's incredible, but it feels very strange and all that. And you look at yourself in that makeup, and to me, I looked like just a melting Bill Maher. Like, I just looked like an old Bill Maher that someone lit on fire. And so I'm sitting there with Matthew, who's golden god, and Michael Douglas, who's a living legend. And I'm just sitting there as a melting Bill Maher. But it was a very fun movie. I had a great time doing it. So yeah. Jennifer Garner's fantastic. She's just a badass. And also remarkably sweet. I've known her for years. She's super lovely, but also just a badass. It's just that. So yeah. You're very welcome. Nice to meet you, Gene. Right on. Take care.
And a question right over here.
Yes.
Hello. Welcome to Pittsburgh.
Thanks. Are you from here?
I am.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. So I'm a fan of Franklin and Bash.
Me too.
And I was really bummed when the seasons end.
Me three.
So how much improv did you do with that show?
On Frank and Beans, we did a fair amount, which was unusual for an hour-long drama, as they called it. Initially it was on it was on TNT, and their whole slogan is "We know drama," and we don't. Mark Paul and I don't. And originally the show was on TBS. When they first bought it, it was on TBS, which is their comedy channel. And then they brought it over to TBS, and we're like, well, we don't know drama, but we'll try. And so they let us riff a lot. They let us improv a whole bunch. We did 4 years on that. And then the last year, I was writing on the show. Mark Paul was directing. And actually, I think it's the second to last episode I wrote and he directed. And we really tried to get them to say written and directed by Franklin and Bash. and they refused. They wouldn't let us do it. But they did let us improv a lot. We had a lot of fun with that. And Malcolm McDowell is the greatest monster on the planet, and loved playing with him. So yeah, we had a very good time with that. Okay. And thanks again for having me in Pittsburgh.
All right, we've got a question for you right down front here.
Yes, sir.
Hello there. My name is Jonathan Candell. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Breckin Meyer.
You know, when you were talking about Matthew McConaughey, and I heard you talking, you kind of reminded me of one of his voiceover roles, which was, of course, in the Illumination Entertainment Sing movie.
Sure.
Yeah, he voiced Buster Moon, and he's doing it in the sequel. And if he wasn't available to do it, maybe you could take on that mantle, because I know you could pull it off.
So if I pay you, you'll make Matthew disappear?
I'm not a magician.
Are you offering your services?
Well, I have ideas.
I have ideas how you can kill Matthew McConaughey. I went to the premiere of Sing, and Matthew was so sweet. He had a pin of his character, and he gave it to my little girl when she enjoyed it. She said, "I like that pin." And he went, I give it to you then. He gave it to her, and that was it. So yeah.
Aw, that's very sweet.
He's a very sweet guy. He's a very lovely guy. So we won't kill him. But yeah.
Yep.
But thank you. Thank you.
Okay, let's get a few more questions.
Anybody else?
Right over here. Oh, excuse me. Let me mosey on.
Hi. I'm a huge fan.
Thank you. Who are you dressed as?
Storm.
Okay, I was going to guess Storm, and I'm not a huge comic book person. I didn't want to be shouted down if I was wrong.
All right. I don't know if you've heard this question before, but have you seen Rick and Morty? And if so, do you have a favorite episode?
Oh, man. I have seen very, very little of Rick and Morty. I'm very bad about watching my fellow Adult Swim shows. So I'm crap at that. But I do know the episode Pickle Rick was written by a former robot chicken writer named Jessica Gao. So I'm a big fan of that. So yes. So Gao wrote Pickle Rick, so I will say that. Yeah, we worked... did you guys ever hear of Detours? Anybody ever heard of this? The Star Wars animated show Detours? It never saw the light of day, but it's just a fun bit. But Seth, me, all the Robot Chicken guys, Jessica Gao, who wrote Pickle Rick, basically went up to Skywalker with George before he sold Star Wars, before he sold Lucasfilm, and we wrote a comedy animated show called Detours, and we did it. They have 55 episodes that are all done. But since Disney bought it, they didn't want the first thing that came out from Star Wars to be a comedy. It's kind of been shelved forever. But to spend 3 years with George Lucas writing silly Star Wars shows was pretty damn exciting. Yeah.
Question for you right down the middle here.
Yes, sir.
Hi. My name's Maggie.
Hi, Maggie. I'm Breckin.
I want to know filming the behind the scenes of the helicopter scene from Rat Race, because just that scene kills me every time.
The helicopter scene, Rat Race, me and Amy, and it was Dean Cain. Yeah, I mean, Rat Race was one of the rare times where everything kind of came together in a crazy way. Seth and I had really wanted to work together, and we had no control of it as the actors. You just go and hopefully get a job. But he called me and he said, "Hey, I got the offer for Rat Race. I'm going to do this movie Rat Race." And like a day later, I was like, "I'm going to do the movie Rat Race." And luckily, Amy Smart and I had worked together already on Road Trip, so it was great to work with her again. But also, you have Jerry Zucker, who's responsible for the funniest movies on the planet, whether it's Airplane, Airplane 2, Naked Gun, all the stuff that the Zucker brothers do. And then you have John Cleese, Whoopi Goldberg, John Lovitz, Rowan Atkins. I mean, everybody in that movie, Kathy Najimy, everyone's just a all-star heavy hitter. And then you got this jackalope and Amy Smart and stuff like that. But yeah, filming up on they put you on this giant gimbal, which is basically a giant telescopic pole that rotates. And so so it is scary because also you're in a fake helicopter, but the one thing about it's fake is it's fake. So if it falls, it's a stone. So some of that is no acting required, because when when someone tips your chair and you're not ready to do that, that was the whole day, was doing that and yelling down. Again, it's similar to doing Garfield. That's the fun. Like, that's really when it gets to be fun, silly stuff. Road Trip, jumping over the thing, all those bits in Rat Race with the whether it's the Smash Mouth concert or the helicopter, Seth spraying the cow milk into people's eyes, all that stuff. It was super fun. It was really... I overuse the word fun because, honestly, my job is ridiculously fun sometimes. Most times. So, Yes, we had a lot of fun doing that.
Question: you can't quite see the guy who's behind the pole.
I'm going to assume it's just that podium asking me, that poll asking me.
How was your time on Good Girls?
How was my time on Good Girls? It was. I'm sorry, Michael Myers is walking behind you, and it just scared the shit out of me. I'm just going to keep my eye on him so I can see him. Good Girls was really fun. I got a call about doing that, and Matt Lillard, who was in Scream and all these things, we'd known each other. He did Scoop. If Mike Myers is still coming, it was. I don't know. I can't guarantee it's not him. So yeah, Good Girls was a lot of fun to play with. I'd never worked with Lillard, but he had done Scooby-Doo with Seth. He had done Scream, which as a young actor, I auditioned and screen tested for the Jamie Kennedy role, and it came down to me and Jamie. And I went into the audition, the last audition for Scream, and I went in. Where's Mike Myers? Okay, he's over there. I went into the audition, and I saw Jamie Kennedy in the waiting room, and he had pink hair, like he did in Romeo and Juliet. He had dyed pink hair. And it was, I don't know, what was that, the 90s, like late 90s, whatever. I remember walking into the audition going, all right, I'm gonna crush this role. I'm gonna, fuck, he's got pink hair. He gets it. You know what I mean? That was it. So I knew I was not going to get the part right then and there. But I did enjoy Good Girls a great deal. It was really fun. I didn't get to work with everybody on it. Most of my stuff was with Lillard. Not that he's not a great guy, but it was really fun. No, I think that's done. I think they canceled that show. Not because of me, hopefully, but maybe they did. But yeah.
Got time for about 2 or 3 more
We
questions.
got one straight down the middle here. She's got a question for you.
Hi, what's your name?
Sharon.
Hi, Sharon. I'm Breckin.
Hey.
Hi. Oh,
So, anyways, following up with Good Girls, I don't know if you're allowed to talk about this.
I can talk about anything.
Okay, if you're allowed to, if you're allowed to talk about this.
I can talk about anything.
What do you think happened to your character after Good Girls ended? I mean, can you talk about
That's a good question. What do I think? Well, he was running. What was he? He was running that. Was it? It's called an MGM. Is that right? Or MTM? What is it? Anybody? What is it? The multi-level MLM, multi-level marketing. That's what it was. It's a little Ponzi scheme. I'm assuming at some point he'll probably go to jail for it. I'm guessing. It also would be a welcome vacation because his wife doesn't seem to like him very much either. So I think he's probably going to do some time. How about that? Anyone else?
Yep.
Are we good? Oh, look at all the costumes. Man, I love watching the costumes come in. Hi.
All right. Coming at you.
Hi.
Hi, Breckin. I can't believe I'm talking to you right now.
Then I won't. What is your name?
My name's Carrie.
Hi, Carrie. I'm Breckin.
Hi. Absolutely loved you and Franklin and Bash.
Oh,
you guys
thank you.
together just made me laugh every week. So
I like
thank
that
you.
big-headed Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Oh my gosh, that made me laugh.
Zach Morris is pretty funny.
That's what I was going to say. You got to work with Zach Morris.
I did. I got to work with a lot, and I called him Zach Morris.
Did you really?
Yeah. But the worst part is he would just call me Screech and win the day. And God rest Justin's soul.
Being that you work with Seth so much, what are the chances that we might hear you in Family Guy?
I've done Family Guy a couple times actually, but no, it's okay. It's tiny roles. I'm the biggest Family Guy fan. Like I love. But was it from birth? Okay, so were your parents giant Family Guy fans, or total coincidence?
Brian.
Really?
I have an Uncle Brian.
Is he a dog?
He lives.
Is he? Yeah, he is.
He lives in Alabama with a very thick Southern accent, so
Okay.
it's not really anywhere towards.
So it's nowhere near like Brian. Okay. No, I did. I was a huge fan of Family Guy, and I remember when Sethi booked it. One of my favorite things is we were about to do Can't Hardly Wait, or right around Can't Hardly Wait, because he brought Charlie Korsmo to the audition for some reason, and you didn't ask this, but I'll tell you anyway. My favorite thing about is that Sethi went in there. You know, you see the picture of Chris Griffin. When you go to an audition for voiceovers, a lot of times you get a picture of the character. And through Robot, I've met some really incredible voiceover actors like Frank Welker. You know, the guys who do like the shit. You know, the guys who do like the Transformers and G.I. Joe and all that. Seth and I are goofing off. These guys are legit. And so you get these guys like Frank Welker who can do these voices, and they can look at a picture and go, I think it sounds like this, you know, whatever. I can't. And neither can Seth. And so Seth, he looked at it, he was like, I don't know. And the picture of Chris Griffin, everyone was coming in doing, oh, what's up, dude? They were just doing Stoner Kids or Travis or Scott Evil. Like they were just doing those burnout voices you hear, the Spicoli. the Keanu Reeves, which is all Seth and I have ripped off our entire careers. But Sethy, we would always joke with that Buffalo Bill voice, Ted Levine from Silence of the Lambs. It's one of our favorite things. Was just always like, oh wait, was she a great big fat person? Oh, okay, and all that, and put the lotion in the basket, all that stuff. And so Seth was just like, I'm gonna try that. And I was like, you're gonna do Buffalo Bill as the son on this Fox comedy series animated cartoon. He was like, yeah. And I was like, go for it, And so it became, instead of puts the lotion in the basket, his story became, oh, Dad, I don't want to go. And it became that Chris Griffin. I do a very bad Chris Griffin, but it became Chris. So I mad love to Sethy for that. But so I always wanted to be on Family Guy. Seth and I have been friends since I was 15. About 7 years into Family Guy, I was like, can I be on the fucking show? Like, ever? What takes so long? Finally, I get a call to be on Family Guy. And I'm like, yeah, my boy stepped up. Seth stepped up for me. And I call him and I go, I'm doing Family Guy. He goes, you are? I was like, you had nothing to do with this. You didn't even help me. And he's like, no. I'm like, it's the other Seth who did the good thing. McFarlane's the man. You suck, So I went and did, I think I played a couch. My first role was a couch at Couchella. Was the bit. It was a cutaway to Couchella, and I was a little voice in that. And then, so I think I've done Family Guy twice. And then I did American Dad, which was really fun. I got to do American Dad, and I got to play Breckin Meyer, oddly enough, on American Dad. Although, yeah, with The Weeknd. That was really, really fun. So yeah, luckily I've done Family Guy once or twice. Never a huge role. They just kind of give a dog a bone, like a little morsel, and let me do it. They should add a cat, and then I would do the voice. They could add Garfield, but then Bill would have to do the voice, so because he's much better than me at that. Yes.
All right, let's get one. Oh, this is quick. One more question.
Incredible question.
Loved you in Road Trip.
Thanks.
Tough question.
Okay. Are you wait? Is that a costume, or are you just wearing a tank top?
That was just a tank top.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like a John McClane because it looked all right.
Yeah.
We'll get together, have a few laughs.
Yeah. Tough question. Kyle Stifler or Tom Green, who made you laugh more on set?
Say that one more time.
Kyle from Road Trip.
Oh, Kyle.
Stifler or Tom Green, who made you laugh more?
Tom Green, I was afraid of because the thing is, like, oh shit, you guys didn't just see who walked in. There's a big Teletubby. Okay, it's almost as scary as Mike Myers. I'm gonna stand even further away. Oh, the head came off. Jesus. Okay. I didn't know they could do that. I see Waldo in the way back. I just spotted Waldo. You guys don't have to look. It's fine. Where's Waldo? Nailed it. Okay. Sorry. Tom Green, I was really afraid of, and the reason is because like Tom's super funny as long as it's not directed at you. So my whole thing was I don't want to be like Jackass is awesome to watch as long as Knoxville's not kicking you in the nuts. So I wanted to, my whole thing with Tom was like, I think you're hysterical. Don't prank me, please. Like, I'm not good at it. I won't be funny. I'll be scared and I'll be crying. So don't do it. Kyle, DJ, super funny. But Sean Scott as Stifler. Sean Scott, Sean is one of those guys that just says something and it's funny. It's almost, it was almost like Ryan Reynolds has a bit of Jim Carrey in him with the delivery, and also they're both Canadian. Sean has that as well. Sean has that thing where if I said the phrase, like, well, I'm not sure, whatever. But Sean gets up there and he's like, well, I'm not sure. And I'm like, I'm laughing already. You're funny already. So yeah, Sean was awesome. Funny story I'll tell you just because we're here. Sean had, what do you call it? Drank a lot. And we were I was getting him back to his hotel room. And I don't drink, and so I'm trying to help him back to his hotel room. He's a big guy. He's a very fit guy. He used to work at Bally's as a trainer. He's a big, thick dude. And I'm a small Haitian boy. And so I'm like helping him do the thing. And Sean's getting a little feisty and he's having fun. So he starts punching all the wall sconces on the way down the hallway. And these big dudes, they're shattering. And I'm like, you got to stop doing that. So anyway, I get him into his room. He's a big guy. I get him in his room. I'm like, all right, you sleep it off. You go to bed. So he goes to bed. I go, all right, I got to get my room key. He has like a suite. So I'm in like the living room area. And he comes out. He has no idea who I am. All he knows is there's someone in his room. And he's very fit. So he does this kind of, don't tell anyone this story, by the way. He kind of does this. Who are you? And I'm like, oh, fuck, I need you to remember real quick who I am, man. So I start just going over the resume. I'm like, it's Breckin. I was in Clueless. I did that thing in Garfield. You remember? And eventually he was like, okay. And he went back to bed. And so that was the day Sean Scott didn't kill me. It was that. Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that it?
You're going to head back to your table?
I'm going to go back, and if you guys want to say hi, I'll be back there.
Please do. Yeah. Oh, thanks so much. Breckin Meyer, give it up. You'll need that. Keep it going. He's still in the room.
Hi, this is Michael Shanks, and you're watching Fandom Spotlite. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. The fate of the universe may depend on it. And have fun and follow your fandom.